Hi guys and welcome to my channel. So I've been kind of on the fence about reviewing this one. I wasn't really too sure because I don't know, they've never really been a band that have been a huge part of me, but I thought, do you know what, let's just give it a go anyway. So I thought I'd do today's review on Asking Alexandria's brand new self-titled album, which comes out today. I've had the record for about maybe 2 weeks and I've been listening to it on and off. Asking Alexandria is Asking Alexandria like full throttle really, and I think that it is probably their most mature record to date. You know, they've had all four pretty much of the previous releases were kind of like going through different sort of things. Like The Black was kind of getting to grips with Danny leaving, and Reckless and Relentless was kind of like about their sort of, you know, their, not like their coming of age, but you know, like actually getting there. And then From Death to Destiny was like when they got to like super huge mega status. Asking Alexandria, the self-titled record, is kind of their return to them being a band. And I think that's kind of like the theme of the album, and I think that's why it's been a self-titled record, you know, because it's like a reaffirmation of what they stand for. And do you know what? It's got one of the catchiest choruses I've heard this year. Into the Fire, when Danny's like, I walk into the fire. Like, it's so well put together with the kind of like the double pedal that kind of comes in, and it brings that sort of like oomph into it, which, you know, I've got to say, hats off guys, like that's a very, very well written song. The album itself is a slightly different affair. Like, there are some great songs. Alone in a Room kind of kicks the album off in maybe what is a bit slightly unorthodox Asking Alexandria style, but I think definitely, you know, with the return of Danny, there's a serious amount of focus on the vocals here. And, you know, like I just mentioned, Into the Fire is a huge kind of like soaring vocal line. And then you've got the likes of Hopelessly Hopeful, where it's like na 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 na, and it's got that sort of like you know, it's got that chart kind of number. But I feel that the biggest thing that's happened on this record is they've gone away from that sort of like, you know, high-pitched, screamy sort of screamo stuff to something which is more like alternative, and I think is kind of better, and it's a bit more, I don't know if it's a bit more marketable, but you know, like when you're Asking Alexandria, they're a huge band, and you have to understand that. You know, returning with Danny Warsnop's voice being in a different shape as well, that's another big deal. I think that the band have kind of like played to his strengths now, which is quite interesting. So When the Lights Go Up kind of has like a My Chemical Romance vibe about it, which I thought was really interesting. But obviously, you know, it's talking about being on stage and everything, and you know, the whole album is this reaffirmation of this is Asking Alexandria in 2017, soon to be 2018. Vultures, yeah, has got like a real kind of like David Draymond worship like chorus, where it's cool, you know, it's great because his voice can kind of pull it off, but I don't know, it just made me cringe a little bit. And that's where the kind of cringiness sort of begins to creep in, really. For me, the cringiest track was easily Empire. And it's just like, guys, like, don't do the rap stuff. You know, you're kind of turning into an alt-rock band, so stay with the alt-rock stuff. You know, like, yeah, it's a bit heavier, but that's what you're good at doing, and that's also what Danny's voice is really good at doing. So I think that was a bit of a misstep, but I think that the record is actually surprisingly good. But there are some bits where you're kind of like, guys, maybe you shouldn't have done that. On Where Did It Go, where Danny Warsnop almost sounds a bit like Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy, and you know, it's just great. It's great to see that the band have actually bounced back and they've got this new album, and they're kind of here and they're like, do you know what? It doesn't matter. We're back together, and this is what we're gonna do. I would give the record a 3 out of 5 skulls because it's got some incredibly catchy songs on it, some great pop tracks, but but it also kind of strays into this weird territory where it doesn't quite fit. Give it a listen, see what you think. Asking Alexandria is out right now on Sumerian Records, and yeah, if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you soon.